All right, here's some of that new footage people are talking about. Speaker of the House McCarthy recently releasing some of the footage from the January 6th election integrity protest at the Capitol. Election integrity to some, the Democrats who had the January 6th committee tried to label this as an insurrection, and there definitely was violence getting into the Capitol. We don't want to be naive about this, but this is the side that was not shown during the hearing, which was produced by a very experienced television producer. It was at times shown in prime time with no opposing view on any of the claims. Capitol Police doing little here to stop protesters, even ushering them around, opening doors. Now, on the police side, there are some explanations that you do this when you're overwhelmed, when you're outnumbered, and you want to de-escalate the situation. So that kind of lays out the two dynamics at work. Joining us right now to discuss, Newsmax contributor Deneen Borelli and Project 21 member and political activist Whitley Yates. Whitley, you've probably seen some of this footage. And what do you think? Does this change the conversation at all?
You know what's sad is that this was released after the committee had ended. And the truth is that we, as American people, we wanted to know what happened on January 6th. And this committee, which was biased and didn't have any Republican representation on it, did not get to the bottom of it. So the fact that after the committee has ended, we still have lingering questions about what actually happened versus what didn't happen, specifically at the Capitol on that day, is the problem. And I think that this is a testament to the leadership, specifically Nancy Pelosi, who was picking and choosing who she wanted to be on the January 6th committee. These videos contradict a lot of what has been stated. Yeah. Now we don't have anything to hear on the other side about it.
Yeah, and Deneen, this is one of the problems I have with the January 6th committee. I think what people did on January 6th, what a lot of them did, was wrong. They should pay a price. I think those that were caught may be paying too high a price in relation to what they actually did. But this was not heard, and I think it actually hurt the committee because not hearing the opposing voice, the opposing perspectives, it was so one-sided that when they issued their findings, we all know what they were going for. They were going for insurrection. They were trying to attach it to Donald Trump so he couldn't run for office again, and this just kills their credibility.
Well, Bob, yeah, this exposes the sheer propaganda from the House committee at the time, the Democrats and the liberal media. It took the Republican House to get these videos released because the Democrats did not want these videos to see the light of day, really. They knew the vast majority of the attendees were peaceful. Yes, there were some knuckleheads there, but what they were able to do, the House committee, Democrats and liberal media, they were able to hijack this day, tarnish everyone in attendance, but also to harm and tarnish former President Trump and his supporters. That's why they didn't want these videos to come out.
Yeah, in light of the new revelations, Elon Musk tweeted this about the January 6th committee. They withheld evidence for partisan political reasons that sent people to prison for far more serious crimes than they committed. That is deeply wrong, legally and morally. And former President Trump said this: let the January 6 prisoners go. They were convicted or are awaiting trial based on a giant lie, a radical left con job. Now, as I said, Whitley, I'm not going to ignore that there were people that violated. This was the day that we were formally picking the President of the United States. It was not a tour group. They were not just walking around and getting a guided tour. This was a different situation entirely. But I think this does present a completely different perspective on it and shows that they were trying to be peaceful. Maybe the cops were handling it right to keep it peaceful. And really the only person to die that day from something that happened there was Ashley Babbitt.
Yeah, the truth is the good, the bad, and the ugly that happened that day, we as American citizens deserve to know. And the committee that was supposed to get to the bottom of it and provide unbiased opinion of what happened was the most biased group of them all. And so we are now left, the American people, with more questions than answers. We got to the bottom of absolutely nothing. And now this video completely shifts the narrative, which makes us think we were misled or purposefully lied to.
Yeah, and that's what it makes clear. And you know what? They could have done the committee still and presented this and then come to their conclusions and, like, you know, big boys and girls, if I can use the term boys and girls, as if there were different genders, we could draw our own conclusions. Okay, before we go, I only have time for one of you. So, Deneen, I haven't talked to you a second time. Some Democratic Party strategists think that, hey, it's time for Michelle Obama. Could that really happen?
Well, Bob, I guess anything in this day and age could possibly happen. But you know what? She went from Chicago to Ivy League schools to the White House twice, 2 terms, and now she's living it up in Martha's Vineyard. So I really don't think this is something that she wants to get into at this time.
Yeah, who wants to work for a living, right?
Me.
Okay, that's a good point. That's always why I've always thought somebody like Donald Trump would probably be great at hosting a talk show, right? But you got to do it every day, and you might not be able to golf as much. But he is thinking about going back to the White House, and that's a lot of work from what I've read.
From level country.
Yeah, exactly. Running the country, it does take some time. Deneen and Whitley, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, Bob.